It's a rivalry game, the biggest in the area. The Greenfield Green Wave playing host to the state champion, defending state champions, the Thunder from Turners Falls High School. Jeff Terrell, Bobby C. here at Vets Field. Dave Reno, our studio producer across town over there on Woodard Road. Bobby, we're ready to go now. The spring sports season here on Bear Country. We have a selection of baseball and softball games, and it doesn't get much better than Greenfield versus Turners Falls in softball.
Sure does. I've always been a very big fan of both these teams and how they both have been able to play over the last few years, and goes back even to Coach Lovett when she was here to sort of build that program back up to where it is today. You know, you got to give credit there because she was able to do a lot of work with her family, and of course we all know about Gary Mullins. You know, I crack a joke all the time, and we used to always say that when the games were played at the playoffs down at UMass, they literally have the Mullins Center, which is right next door. Well, we were just cracking jokes saying, why don't they just call it the Mullins Field? Because there was always Turners being there, Jeff.
Every year. You know, it's amazing. If you coach long enough, or if you're a fan of a certain program long enough, the high school level, you know, eventually you'll get one of those seasons where it's a veteran crew, a talented crew. They'll make some noise in the postseason. They might make the states. They might even win a state championship. But then they fade back. And then they come back again years later. Turners Falls, they are a relentless program. Every year, Bobby, they're very good, if not the best in the state.
I tell people all the time, you know, I think about two programs right now in our area that have been great programs that have really been able to do it year after year. Turners Falls girls softball, and what about the volleyball girls team down there at Frontier?
Yep.
Every year, McDonald finds a way to get it done there, and Mullins gets it done over here in Turners. Very different everywhere else except for those two programs around here, Jeff.
Now, there was a time when Greenfield in softball, they were nowhere near Turners Falls in terms of talent level. They were light years away. Then in recent years, they started to creep up a little bit. Then they would start to get a victory here and there over the Thunder. This year, who knows? But what makes this exciting, Bobby, is the battle in the circle. And this is going to be great. And it's not just going to be tonight. This is the first of many nights of a toe-to-toe matchup between two very talented young pitchers.
You know, I'm excited to tell you folks that we have two freshmen that are going to be going at it for years. Maddie Lamatanian for the Thunder and Mackenzie Pollan for the Green Wave. And let me tell you something, folks. These ladies deal. These ladies put a lot of work into their game. And honestly, it makes it a little tougher for some of the other players to stay focused because they get so many strikeouts. It sort of makes the players just sort of stand around because they're both that good.
Absolutely, and they're off to terrific starts on their high school careers. Of course, we saw a lot of Maddie last year. Of course, she wasn't pitching last year, obviously, with Jay Teller around. But, you know, we certainly saw her get off to a great start in her high school career. And, hey, Miss Pollan's off to a terrific start in her career as well.
She sure is. You know, both these ladies have worked very hard, and they both come from good programs. Coach Hickey's done a great job with the girls he's got. You know, we got to remember now, they only lost a couple of girls on this Greenfield team. Most of these girls are coming back, but they got a couple of seniors that are very big parts of this team for Greenfield. Caitlin Lavoine is so talented, and she is a great hitter. And what about Kelsey Richardson? That girl doesn't miss nothing behind the plate for Greenfield, and boy, when she connects, it's a bomb.
And they've been boosted as well by Amber Bergeron, who's going to be at first base as she comes back to Greenfield High School this year.
That's true. She finally is back after her little stint that didn't work out at Northfield Mount Herman. She has the opportunity to now be able to get back into the Green Wave with all of her friends. And by the way, what about Emily Young? Boy, remember that phenomenal catch she made in the state tournament last year up in Amesbury? That's something I'll never forget. And I guess my picture of me getting excited will be all over social media for years to come.
Absolutely. That was quite a game. A long drive all the way to Amesbury. It was a very hot and muggy day that day. Bobby, it's the opposite here. It's a very gusty breeze. It's very chilly. We've had some spotty showers, but the game will get in. I checked the radar. Looks like the rain is pretty much done for the night. We're good to go, even though it's breezy and cold and, again, just a little bit rainy. We never have a good weather night here at Greenfield High School.
Why? Why do we have such a great feeling that we're all excited about being a part of a game like this, and then the weather does not cooperate with us?
All right. Well, the teams are now meeting at home plate, the captains and the umpiring crew and the two coaches, Gary Mullins, the veteran Turners Falls coach, and John Hickey out there for the Greenfield Green Wave. We'll take our timeout here on the pregame show. We are back in 1 minute as we get set for the start of tonight's game, Greenfield and Turners Falls on the diamond. Next, Bear Country 95.3. All right, as we come up on 6 o'clock, you're listening to high school softball here on WPVQ, WPVQ HD, Bear Country 95.3. Of course, we're online as well at bear953.com. The online stream is driven by Faith's Toyota Ford of Westminster, Vermont. And we want to say hello to everybody that may be listening away from Franklin County. I'm sure the word spread on air and via social media that the game was going to be on tonight. Could you imagine being in another part of the country and saying, yeah, I'll check out the Green Wave and the Thunder on the Diamond?
I'm going to tell you right now, I've always said that there's a lot of folks that I've got on my Facebook page that have been very excited about being able to catch their grandchildren down in Florida. They're snowbirds, and they're enjoying the basketball that we did, Jeff. And now they're just trying to figure out whether they're going to come back here. I think I'd probably wait till maybe the middle of May.
Starting lineup for the Turners Falls Thunder going up against Mackenzie Pollum in the top of the first inning. Emily Young, the catcher, leads off. Paige Schulda at short. Maddie Lamatini in the pitcher. Batting fourth, Morgan Tobias, the first baseman. Katie Wozniak's playing third, hitting fifth. Batting sixth is Olivia Stafford at second base. Sky Lepan is in right field, batting seventh. Batting eighth, Shayla Freeland in left. Jenna Petrovich, the center fielder, bats ninth against Mackenzie Pollum. Again, two freshmen in the circle, both right-handed, both wearing the number 5. It's Pollum, the pitcher. Kelsey Richardson's the catcher. Emily Young steps in on the right side. The lights are on. The windup and the pitch, a little bit high for a ball. We are underway at Vets Field.
You know, it's weird. We're already seeing the lights on already here, Jeffrey.
Yeah, it's a pretty dark evening. The sun is long gone after a nice start to the day. That next pitch is high. 2 balls, no strikes to Emily Young. Paige Schulda on deck. And Maddie Lamatini in the hole. Here's the windup. The 2-0 pitch, swung on a miss, strike one, and the count goes to 2-1. Greenfield defensively, the infield, third to first. Flynn, Bacala, Widello, and Bergeron. Outfield, left to right, Dodge, Lavoine, and Benitez. Foul back to the screen, and the count now even at 2-2. So after a couple of high pitches to start this at-bat, Pollum now has found the strike zone. Young back in the box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff batter here, top 1 of a 7-inning game. The 2-2 swung on a miss, strike 3. Young is down on strikes. First strikeout of the evening, obviously, for Mackenzie Pollum.
You know, the one thing, Jeff, that we're going to see here tonight is we're going to see a lot of good, talented hitters. The question is, can they catch up with these 2 talented pitchers? That's the question for tonight.
Paige Schulda steps in on the left side. First pitch to her in there for a called strike, 0-1. Schulda has had a lot of experience in this Turners Falls team, usually as a courtesy runner. But she started to play defensively and get some at-bats during the season last year. That next pitch is away. 1-1 the count. Lamatanian is on deck, and if she can do something, we'll see Morgan Tobias. The windup and the 1-1 pitch popped up behind the plate. Richardson can't quite get there. A diving attempt, could not come up with it. And the count now goes to 1-2.
You know, I consider Kelsey Richardson as one of the best catchers here in Western Massachusetts. But the problem was that didn't really have a lot of height on it for her to be able to get to it.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Schulda. 1 out here in the first. The pitch, that is low, very low, and the count now even at 2-2. The beginning of every year, the question always is this the year that Turners Falls comes back to the pack a little bit? Usually the answer is no. That next pitch is way high, and the count now full on Paige Schulda. But it's always a case of when they lose a top-flight pitcher, Bobby, there's always a question, okay, the next girl in line, how good is she going to be?
Yeah, and it's worked out pretty well for the Thunder. Ooh.
Swung on a miss, strike 3 on that payoff pitch. She blew the heater right by her. 2 strikeouts here on the first for Mackenzie Pollum. And here comes Maddie Lamatine.
You know, that had so much pop on it, Jeff. We're right behind the plate. I bet you the listeners probably were able to hear that mitt pop on that last pitch by Pollum.
I think so. We're going to arrange our crowd mic here a little bit. In there for a called strike to Maddie. 0-1 the count. Outfield are playing deep and straight away. Infield, even with the bags. Next pitch, change up a little bit high, and the count now goes to 1-1. You definitely need to mix in the change here and there.
Yeah, and you definitely got to be careful because if you leave this out, I'll tell you right now, Maddie can connect.
The 1-1, fouled off on the right side, way up by the light tower, and it's going to bounce right over by the Bear Country vehicle. No, somebody else's car.
Tell you right now, though, now you're in a good spot if you're Mackenzie Pollan because now you can play a little bit here.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The windup. And the pitch, swung and a miss, strike 3. She strikes out the side in the first inning. Great start to the game by Mackenzie Pollan. End of a half inning of play here at Vets Field. On the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard, it's Turner's Falls 0, Greenfield coming up on Bear Country 95.3.
Good placement.
Giving back to the community is part of who they are at Gage Wiley and Company.
All right, so after Mackenzie Pollan strikes out the Thunder, strikes out the side in the top of the first inning, Greenfield now coming to bat in the last half of the first. And here is the Lady Wave batting order. Caitlin Lavoine, a real spark plug, the center fielder, hits leadoff. Batting second, playing third, Ainsley Flynn. The pitcher, Mackenzie Pollan, in the number 3 spot. Kelsey Richardson, power hitting catcher, hits fourth. Rachel Dodge, the left fielder, is the 5th batter. Batting 6th is the shortstop, Anna Bacala. Batting 7th, Ellis Benitez in right. Amber Bergeron at first base hits 8th. And Brielle Widello, playing second base, will bat 9th. Defensively for Turner's Falls in the outfield left to right, it's Freeland, Petrovich, Lepan. Infield third to first, Wozniak, Schulda, Stafford, and Morgan Tobias over at first. Emily Young behind the plate, former outfielder. And on the mound, freshman Maddie Lamatanian.
Jeff, I got to tell you what, the one thing that Greenfield does have is Greenfield does have a little bit of a short game, a small game where they will throw a bunt once in a while. Coach Hickey likes to mix it up a little bit with his hitters. So it should be interesting on how they're going to start off against such the power of Lamatanian and how quick she throws the bat. Maybe you try to bring that bat out a little bit and see what you can do about maybe running it down the third base line. We'll see what happens here. They got good speed, too. Greenfield's got some very fast runners as well.
Yep, and definitely at the start of that is the leadoff batter here. Center field, Caitlin Lavoine, right-handed batter. Lamatanian into her motion, and here's the first pitch. Late swing on a fastball, 0-1 the count.
Nice fire right there.
Lavoine is a right-handed batter. Definitely comes from an athletic family, Bobby.
Oh, definitely.
It's
Tell you right
pitches
now,
inside
both parents are
1-1.
athletic, man.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah. Definitely. And brother Matt, very good player. Also, he played tennis, and he was also a player. Nice hit.
Ground ball down the shortstop, and they got a quick, and they just get her by a half a step. Nice throw there by Paige Schulda over to Morgan Tobias. And there's one down here in the first.
Like I was saying, Jeff, the thing is that with Caitlin Lavoie and her brother Matt is also part of that Greenfield High School hockey team that's been very successful over the past few years.
Yeah, state championship, and then another good year this past year as well.
Yeah.
Ainsley Flynn steps in. First pitch is high for a ball, 1-0. Flynn is playing third base. Mackenzie Pollan, the pitcher, is on deck. One down, last of the first. We are scoreless after Turner's went down 1-2-3 in their half of the first. In there for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1. They just arranged the defense a little bit. They moved the shortstop Schulda about 5 steps closer to the second base bag. This pitch is fouled at the plate, back to the screen, and the count now goes to 1-2. There's a baseball game going across Vets Field here, so fans here, you can watch the softball game. Keep an eye on that scoreboard for the Green Wave boys.
That's true.
Or vice versa. You can check out the baseball game and keep tabs on softball. Although actually you can't see the softball scoreboard over there. It's fouled at the plate, and it stays on the line. That's a fair ball, and they throw down, and they get Flynn by a half a step. That ball was spinning, Bobby, in the dirt, and it somehow stayed right on the line.
It did, and that was a nice job and a good heads up right there by Emily Young right behind the plate, because a lot of times they just sort of let it stay foul thinking it is. She grabbed that ball and chucked it right down to first base to get the out.
Mackenzie Paulin steps in now against Lamatanian. 2 outs, nobody on here, bottom 2. First pitch in there for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. If Paulin can reach, we'll see Kelsey Richardson. Bobby, you talked about small ball that Greenfield plays. Not when Richardson's at the dish. She's got the green light to swing away.
That's right.
That next pitch is low, and the count goes to 1-1. Tremendous power out of that catching slot for Greenfield. She can park it from anywhere.
Amazing, and what a great kid, too.
This pitch is fouled right over to Gary Mullins, and it's caught, but yet doesn't count because he's not an active player anymore.
Yeah, well, hey, you remember him in his day with the old much more softball. I remember, Jeff, when Mully was part of that back in his day.
Here's the windup, and the 1-2 pitch, that is high. Count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 outs here. Bottom of the first inning here at Vets Field. Lamatanian back on the rubber, into her motion. That pitch is high, and the count now full at 3-2.
Ooh, this is one you want to get right here. If you're Maddie, you don't want to get into Richardson with a runner on first.
Here's the windup, and the payoff pitch, that is high, ball 4. So Paulin down to first, and here comes trouble in the name of Kelsey Richardson.
You know, the one thing I say about Kelsey is it's all about patience. She's got to be a little bit patient up there. Sometimes she overswings. She's got to be patient, especially when you know that you got Maddie Lamatanian with all the speed. Just got to meet it.
Richardson steps in on the right side. First pitch is a little bit high for a ball, 1-0. On deck is Rachel Dodge. Hannah Bacala in the hole. 2 outs, runner on first. Bottom of the first inning, we are still scoreless, at least for now. The windup in the 1-0. In there for a strike, fastball, 1-1 the count.
I like that placement right there, Jeff. That was sweet. That's going to be a tough one for any hitter.
Yeah, I kept it right at the knee.
Yeah, right at the knee, and it was on the outside corner. That's tough.
If you get up towards the waist, then could be asking for trouble. The 1-1, that is high, back to the screen. Wild pitch down to second. Goes Paulin, takes a wide turn there, and then darts right back in there. So now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and we'll see if Richardson can pick her up.
Chance for the Green Wave to take advantage of an opportunity right here.
2 balls, 1 strike, runner on second, 2 outs. The pitch, late swing, another heater, and the count even now at 2-2.
And back outside again. She's keeping it on the outside. She's not bringing anything inside at all against Richardson. Honestly, Maddie's doing a nice job with her placement.
The 2-2 pitch popped up behind the screen. That's going to make the crowd just about 3 feet out of play. Emily Young took a look, couldn't quite get it. Count remains 2-2. Yeah, I'd imagine you could have a detailed scouting report on Richardson, but basically you could just write 2 words on it. Be careful. That's it. Be careful.
No, it's true. It really is.
Here's the windup. The 2-2 pitch, that is low, back to the screen, and down to third on the second wild pitch of the inning goes Mackenzie Paulin. So now she's down at third base with 2 outs and a 3-2 count. Nothing good here with the base open here.
No, and you know what? You might have to take a chance on Dodge if you're Lamatanian.
Nothing too good here if you're Lamatanian. Here's the pitch, popped up right in front of the mound. Lamatanian waves everybody off, makes the catch, and she gets out of the jam. Greenfield leaves a runner on third. We go to the second inning of play. And on the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard, it is Turners Falls nothing, Greenfield nothing on Bear Country 95.3. Jeff Terrell, Bobby C., studio producer Dave Reno. Glad you could join us on a blustery April night, Thursday night here in Bear Country. Warmer weather to come, Bobby. By the end of the season, when we're doing tournament games, we'll remember how cold we were tonight.
We sure will, and then we'll be using, instead of using a towel for thinking it's going to rain, it's going to be for wiping it off our foreheads. How's that?
Happens every year.
Absolutely.
All right, we can bring it on sooner than later. All right, Turners Falls coming up here in the top half of the second inning. with the 4, 5, and 6 batters. First pitch to Morgan Tobias, in there for a called strike. 0-1 on a changeup. I like how Pollen's been mixing up her pitches so far.
She really has, and she's done a really nice job, especially up and down, too. She's doing a good job getting up and down.
Next pitch, came back with heat. Late swing by Tobias, and the count quickly 0-2.
See, the best part about getting ahead is you have opportunities now to be able to waste 1 or 2.
Here's the windup. The 0-2 pitch, grounded down to shortstop. Fielded cleanly there by Weidello over to Bergeron. And that's the first time Turner's Falls has an out other than a strikeout.
Tell you right now, Katie Wozniak has been having a really good tear here, Jeff, on the year. She's been hitting the ball very well for her team. And with the loss of Holly Myers to an injury right now, Katie's come up pretty big.
Left-handed batter like Holly Myers. She takes a called strike on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. 1 out here, top of the second inning. Greenfield and Turner's Falls scoreless. Next pitch, late swing, and quickly 0-2 now. On deck is Olivia Stafford playing second base. The windup, the 0-2, up and away, and the count goes to 1-2.
Katie's older sister, the very talented Cassidy Wozniak, who played shortstop back in the day for Turner's. Also, great job in hockey.
Yeah. Couldn't hold up on the check swing. That's a strikeout. 4th strikeout of the night so far by Mackenzie Pollen. 2 outs here in the Turner's Falls second. Here comes Olivia Stafford. If Stafford can keep the inning going, we'll see LePan. Here's the windup in the pitch. Line drive right to Bergeron at first base, and takes it a quick 1-2-3 inning for Mackenzie Pollen. We go to the last half of the second inning on the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard. Well, Bobby, I mentioned we're just starting our high school broadcast season here on Bear Country. We're going to get as many games on the air as we can. Of course, a lot of the schools, they don't play in the evening, which doesn't allow us to do the games unless the games are starting at 6 o'clock or later. But I'm looking forward to seeing the Pioneer baseball team. We're going to have them against Greenfield over here at Vets Field next Wednesday, the 27th. You got Frontier Turner's Falls softball next week. That should be a good one. We're going to see the Frontier baseball team as well. It's going to be fun. We're going to see Hopkins Academy baseball too.
Yeah, let me tell you what. What I was really enjoying was a game that I saw last week. It wasn't on our broadcast, but the Hampshire girls came here and played Greenfield girls, and they came back and won. Greenfield was up in that one.
In there for a called strike. Leading off for Greenfield here, it is Rachel Dodge playing left field. Greenfield got a runner to the third base in the last of the first inning, but Mackenzie Pollen was stranded there. The next pitch is up, and the count now 1-1. It'll be Dodge, Bacala, and Benitez, the 5, 6, 7 batters in the Greenfield lineup here in the second. That pitch is low, 2-1 the count.
You know, another one of the big pitchers that is in the area, Joss Meddy, she ended up having a leg injury, and she wasn't able to be here to pitch last week against Greenfield.
In there for a called strike, and the count now even 2-2 to Rachel Dodge. Rachel wears number 4, right-handed batter, playing left field for John Hickey. The windup, and the 2-2. Hit in the air down the right field line. This is going to go foul and unable to be fielded down there by either LePan or Morgan Tobias, who took a look. And the count remains 2-2.
I'll tell you right now, Rachel's a good hitter. She hits the ball very well, especially if she can meet it.
All right, Dodge back in the right-handed batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That pitch is high, 3-2 the count, so she's gone full. She's gone full a few times tonight.
Well, this is a big one because you don't want to get that leadoff runner here in the inning.
3-2 pitch. That is low for a ball. Second walk of the game by Lombardinian. She walked Pollen, who ended up on third, but she was able to strand her there. And here comes Anna Bacala. And as a right-handed batter, wears the number 7. Dodge on first with nobody out. Here's the pitch in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. Paige Schulder went over to cover the bag from her shortstop position, just in case Dodge was taking off late there. She was not. She held the bag. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Hammer down into center field for a base hit. Dodge will stop right at second base, and Greenfield with runners on first and second with nobody out here in the second inning.
Nice hit right there by Bukala. Didn't have a lot of power off the bat, but it definitely was good enough to get out of the infield.
And we have our first hit of the night. And Greenfield's got a pretty good rally going here. Ellis Benitez, right fielder, batting seventh, steps in on the right side. Here's the windup and the pitch. Ground ball right back to the mound. And over to first base with an underhanded toss. Benitez is out there, but the runners move up. Dodge to second, and Dodge to third, and Bukala to second.
Yeah, but that worked out well. You know, that nice little fielder's choice movement over to second and third with only one out. Great opportunity right here for Greenfield to be able to pick up a couple of runs here with Bergeron at the plate.
Amber Bergeron steps in. That pitch is low and away. Ball one. Amber takes a look down at Coach John Hickey, steps in. Here's the windup. The 1-0 pitch, that is high, back to the screen, but it comes right back to the catcher, Young. And there's almost no foul territory between the catcher and the backstop. So on a wild pitch, it's not necessarily a case where the runner's going to score from third.
Really, the only way, Jeff, is if it bounces off a pole and then it swings off to the side.
Next pitch, a late swing, swung right through for a strike, and the count now 2-1. One out, runners on second and third for Greenfield here in the second. We're scoreless, but that could change at any moment. The windup, the 2-1 pitch, that is high, 3-1 the count.
You got an open bag here now, Jeff. You got an open bag, and you know that if you get her at first, now it's a force anywhere.
And the number 9 batter is on deck. Here's the windup. The 3-1 pitch, that is high, ball 4. 2 walks and a single in the inning. The bases are loaded with one out. And Brielle Widello, second base, number 9 batter, stepping in at a big spot here. Bases loaded with only one out. Right-handed batter, Malatanian looks in at Young. Into motion. The first pitch. That is high for a ball, 1-0. So Maddie's struggling with her command right now.
She sure is. Matter of fact, she's really struggling. She's got to get herself into a groove where she can start getting ahead of the batters.
The 1-0 pitch, Widello swings late, and the count now even at 1-1. Yeah, she would love a K here. Infield grounder would also work here if they could turn 2 or maybe get a force at the plate, depending on how it's hit. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is high, 2-1. Top of the order, Caitlin Lavoine is on deck.
Good eye right there by Widello. She's not fetching after any of those high pitches.
Here's the windup. And the 2-1 pitch, hammered foul right over towards the Turner's Falls dugout, nearly caught Coach Mullins.
I'll tell you right now, that would have stung. I don't care
that
what
was
anyone says.
That was hard hit.
Yeah, definitely.
2-2 the count. Yeah, Lamatini, as we mentioned, she would love the K here. Let's see if she can get it. The windup. And the 2-2 pitch. Inside and low, and the count has gone full again. 3-2. That's the third full count of this inning for Lamatinian.
Got to be careful now. There isn't 2 outs. There's only 1. Got to watch those line drives. You got to be smart here if you're Greenfield.
The payoff pitch. Fouled right off the umpire. Yeah, they're checking to make sure. He said, "I'm good." You may have heard him, crowd mic. He looks like a tough guy.
Yeah.
He's very solidly built.
Tell you right now, though, that baby came stinging. There's been some hard balls coming off that bat here.
Yeah, that was coming in hot.
Yeah.
A couple of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the windup and the 3-2 pitch. That is high, ball 4, and Greenfield has taken a 1-0 lead. Bases loaded walk to Brielle Widello. That's 3 walks in the inning. Scoring from third is Rachel Dodge. RBI for Widello. That was a really good at-bat.
That was a great at-bat. That was great because there were ones where she could have fetched those high pitches, Jeff, and she did not. But let me tell you, Caitlin Lavoine, she can hit the ball. Bases
remain loaded for Lavoine. Top of the order, the pitch is high, ball 1.
Matter of fact, Kayla Lavoie came up with a couple of big hits against Hampshire last week. One was right down the right field line, scored 2.
Bucala on third, Bergeron on second, Widello on first. Here's the pitch, that is high, ball 2, not even close. And that's a struggle with the release point, Bobby. When it's that high,
Yep.
It's because it's the release.
Exactly.
So she's just struggling with the mechanics a little bit here. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. And that's hammered down the line in right, just out of play. It's going to be a foul ball just beyond the right fielder who went over to try to get it.
Do you know that if I was playing right field, I'd look at my coach quick while the ball was in the air on whether I'm going to catch it or not. I got a runner on third base. I
Yeah.
can tag up and score that extra run.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Isn't that weird to think like that? But
Yeah.
you know what?
Here's the windup. And the pitch, that is high. Count now goes to 3-1. Again, bases are loaded. She's already walked 3 in the inning already. Flynn on deck, Mackenzie Paulin in the hole. 1-0 Greenfield here in the second. The windup. And the pitch, grounded down to second base. They're coming home. Put out there, they got it. That's the second out as they eliminate Anna Bacall at the plate. Fielder's choice, 4-2. Lavoie is out. Big out there for the Thunder. And here comes Ainsley Flynn with the bases loaded. Heads up play by the Turners Falls infield.
Definitely.
First pitch, a little bit low, and the count is 1-0. Looked like Lamatinian wanted to get that pitch at the knee, but it was just a little bit below that.
Oh, her pitches are pretty close, but they are definitely outside or down low.
The 1-0 to Flynn. Now that one is too high, and the count now goes to 2-0. Again, if Flynn can keep it going, Mackenzie Paulin is on deck. She walked her first time up. Flynn was out. Catcher to first base in the first inning. Here it is. Inside, and she's gone 3-0 now on Ainsley Flynn.
You know, I'm taking 2.
Yes.
I'm taking 2.
Yep. Yeah, you got someone who's already walked 3 in the inning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No need to be aggressive here. And the pitch, obviously taking right there. Yeah, took it down
Definitely.
Broadway. She definitely got the take side from John Hickey.
Yeah, and you know what? I might just have to take another one here. I've only got a 1-run lead.
3-1 is the count. Here it is. Ground ball down to first base. DeBias. Little shuffle pass over to Lamatinian. They get the out at first, and that will retire the side. Could have been much worse for the Thunder, but Greenfield has broken out on top. End of 2 here at Vets Field in Greenfield on the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard. It's Greenfield 1, Turners Falls nothing. Turners Falls come to bat here on the top half of the third inning, lower third of the order. Got Lepan, Freeland, and Petrovich, 7-8-9 against Mackenzie Paulin, who has 4 strikeouts so far, first pitch. And that's going to go in for a ball, 1-0. Lepan, right-handed batter. And she's playing right field tonight for Gary Mullins. Wind up. And the pitch, ground ball. Down the shortstop, gobbled up there. Strong throw to first base. Nice reach and stretch by Bergeron. Bacall to Bergeron, 6-3. Lepan is out, 1 down here in the Turners Falls third.
Well, a good start right here defensively for the Green Wave. And, of course, Mackenzie's done a nice job in the circle. And, boy, right now you got someone who could really put some good power into it with Freeland.
Jayla Freeland, right-handed batter, takes a ball, and the count is 1-0. 1 out here, top 3 of a 7-inning game. Greenfield leading 1-0. But they left the bases loaded. Late swing on that one. Swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. Yeah, Bobby, that could have been a lot worse for Turners.
Oh, definitely. I mean, there was opportunities. Like I said, I think they should have took 2, but Flynn decided to swing.
Next pitch is high, and the count now goes to 2-1. Not a bad crowd tonight. We're all bundled up here for sure with this wind.
I guarantee you there's many folks that are tuning into our broadcast here tonight.
In there for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-2.
Boy, Paulin is dealing, huh? She looks good, Jeff.
Very impressive indeed. Next pitch, cold, strike 3. And Freeland is down, strikeout number 5 on the night for Mackenzie Pollan.
Yeah, really solid, being able to really change things up. We talked about that earlier in the game here, Jeff, that she's been really mixing it up each inning. And nice job right there with a nice changeup to be able to get that 3rd strike.
Late swing by Jenna Petrovich, and the count is 0-1. Number 9 batter. And she is the center fielder. Next pitch a little bit high, and the count now 1-1. Game time temperature, Bobby, was 61. It's already down to 55.
Yeah, and the wind, I bet you the wind chill, we're sitting at about 43 right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty chilly.
It was much nicer earlier in the day. That pitch was low, very low in the dirt. And the count now goes to 3-0 to the number 9 batter, Petrovich, with Emily Young waiting on deck.
It's got to be 25 before I put pants on. So
that's true.
We're all set.
Late swing by Petrovich. 3 balls and check that. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Nobody on base. Here is the windup. The 2-2, called strike 3. 6 strikeouts on the night, and she is perfect through 3. We go to the bottom of the 3rd here at Vets Field in Greenfield. On the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard, it's the Greenfield Green Wave 1 and the Turners Falls Thunder nothing. Bear Country 95.3. Jeff Terrell and Bobby C here at Vets Field, and we're seeing a young lady who's really dealing right now, Mackenzie Pollan. Perfect through 3. We've got ways to go. A razor-thin margin here. She has only got the 1-run advantage. Greenfield would like to put up a crooked number here.
Yeah, you got to remember, you know, Greenfield's got an opportunity here for a good start because Pollan and Richardson are the first 2 batters here for Lamatanian here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Here's the windup in the first pitch, and that is low to Mackenzie Pollan, trying to help out her own cause. As Bobby mentioned, Kelsey Richardson on deck, and then it's Rachel Dodge who will bat 3rd this inning against Maddie Lamatanian. The windup, the pitch, in there for a called strike, 1-1. Lamatanian has definitely struggled with her control. She walked in a run. Overall, she has walked 4 Greenfield batters so far, but has surrendered just that 1 run. Pitch a little bit low, and the umpire even said that. He said, that's a little low.
Yeah.
2-1 the count. Maddie back on the rubber. Looks in at Young, into her motion. The 2-1 pitch, that is low. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Well, it's about patience here. As hitters, when you're going up against a good pitcher, you got to be able to have yourself some patience up at the plate. No chasing.
3 balls, no strikes. In there for a called strike. I'm sorry, that was a 3-1 pitch. So now the count has gone full, 3-2.
That was a nice pitch, too. That was a tough one to get to.
Here's the windup and the payoff pitch. That is low, ball 4. That is 5 walks on the night. And here comes Kelsey Richardson. Richardson popped out to the pitcher to end the first inning, and that ended up stranding Mackenzie Pollan at 3rd base. And Richardson now is going to call time as she steps out.
She's got a little routine where she looks up and she lifts up her feet and gets herself set. She's got some power, boy. All she has to do is meet one of these ones. It's going to go.
Here's the pitch, fouled behind us. Bob, it's coming right over by you. Ooh! And it hit a gentleman behind the screen.
Oh, no.
And hopefully he is okay. Okay, we're going to wait right here. It caught him right on top of his head. Okay, we're going to hold up right here.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's a gentleman who was watching the game, and it came right down squarely on top of his head. They are talking to him. We have a couple of Greenfield policemen who are working the crowd detail here. They're going to check on him. He says he's okay. That could not have felt very good, but he is saying that he feels okay. I think they want to definitely kind of keep an eye on him.
Oh, man, that was scary.
He is saying he is okay.
I heard that
And
pop
that was
too, Jeff. I don't know if you heard it through your phones, but I could hear it right through my headset.
That was a very high pop. I mean, that went up, not as tall as the light tower, but that was up pretty high. And then, again, it caught him flush on top of the head. But he says he is okay.
Awesome.
That is definitely good news. And the play resumes now. That pitch is high to Richardson. Count now goes to 1-1. They're going to bring over an ice pack, and he says, I'm fine. He says, thanks, I don't need the ice pack. He's okay.
He did good.
Wow. There's a long drive deep to right field. That ball is gone for a home run. A line drive home run by Richardson to right field. It is 3-0 Lady Wave.
What a hit. That was a laser. That was a nice job right there. And boy, just goes to show you how walks can end up hurting you, Jeff. A walked run in that first inning, and then second inning that is, and then right there a walk, and then a 2-run homer. There you go. 3-0 Greenfield here in the third.
Yeah, I tell you, the right fielder, LePan went back, really had no chance. And the thing is, Bobby, that ball did not get any higher than 9 or 10 feet above the ground. It was just a line jet. That was not one of those towering blasts like Jay Tyler used to hit.
Right.
That was just a liner.
Yeah, and with the way the wind is, it was honestly to the benefit of Richardson having it be a line drive.
Agreed. So still nobody out. And now batting is Rachel Dodge. Dodge walked and scored in the second inning. Greenfield 3, Turner's Falls nothing. Lamatania looks at it. Young needs to settle down now. Here's the pitch. That is inside. Count goes to 2-0.
A tough night here for Maddie. She's really having a lot of trouble being able to find really what her biggest problem is right now, Jeff, is she can't get ahead of any of the batters, and that's a problem.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. That is high, and the count goes to 3-0. She's all over the plate now.
Got to be patient here, right?
Yep.
I mean, you got no outs. 3-0.
And that pitch is low for a ball. And down to first base goes Dodge, and it's Anna Bukala who singled in the second inning. Coming up next.
You know, Mully's in a tough spot right now because normally his second pitcher that he'd be using is injured right now with Holly Myers.
Holly Myers, that's right.
Yeah, it would be Holly coming in a situation like this right now. A little bit of a tough spot for Coach Mullins.
And it's Anna Bukala getting set to step in on the right side again. She singled. Infield grounder, made it through the right side her first time up. And ended up being stranded on base. All right, Mully now back to the dugout. We'll see if Lamatania now can get her release point down, throw some strikes, let her defense do the work from there. First pitch, nice pitch in there for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Just needs an out here, Bob.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe that was the visit that was needed by Coach Mullins just to sort of calm her down a little bit.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball down to second base. Quick shovel over to second for the force there. So out at second is Dodge, reaching on the fielder's choice. 4-6 is Bukala. So with one out, this will bring up Ellis Benitez. Benitez, fielder's choice grounder, was out 1-3. Big out for TF right there. They want to leave it at 3 for sure. There's a ground ball right back to the mound. Bobbled momentarily by Lamatanian. Strong throw to first, got her.
What a gun. What a play.
Well, she had to fire it as hard as she could because she momentarily stumbled with the ball, but Benitez is out. 1-3, and now there's 2 outs. Runner on second base is Bukala, and here's Amber Bergeron. Bergeron walked and was stranded in the second inning. 3-0 Greenfield after that 2-run home run by Richardson. Here's the pitch to Bergeron, in there for a strike, and just like that, boy, that was a great mound visit because ever since then, Lamatania is back to her usual self.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes you just need to be able to have the coach's approval that things are going to be all right. And I think that's exactly what Coach Mullins said. Just relax.
Next pitch. Little bit low. And the count now even at 1-1. On deck, number 9 batter, Biel Widello. She had an RBI walk in the second. 3-0 Greenfield here in the third. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike, and it's 1-2.
Now you gotta be protected here. If you're Amber Bergeron, you gotta look for anything close.
Just outside. And the count now even at 2-2. We'll call out at second base with 2 outs. Here's the windup in the pitch. Just outside. The count now has gone full 3-2.
Tell you right now, though, Amber Bergeron was playing with fire there the last 2 pitches. They were close.
They were very close, yeah. Good eye for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's the payoff pitch. Cold strike 3 on the outside corner. She got her. And a great job of coming back after struggling there by Maddie Lamatanian. We go to the 4th inning of this 7-inning game. And on the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard, it's now Greenfield 3, Turners Falls nothing on Bear Country 95.3. All right, so Turners Falls, they need to get something going here, Bobby, because they do not have a base runner through 3 innings. Top of the 4th inning. Leading off is the leadoff batter, Emily Young, swings through that first pitch, and it's 0-1. The sky getting a little brighter.
Yeah, it looks like there's a little streak of blue that we're seeing around. A lot of black, though.
In there for a called strike, quickly 0-2. Mackenzie Paulin, well, her dad Marcus played for Tom Sushnik right over there.
He sure did, and he played Little League when I was a young man.
And next pitch is high.
You and I used to watch kids like Marcus Paulin play, because we've got a few years on them.
Well, I remember he was part of a state final team back in 1988.
Yeah.
But they lost to Hamilton Wenham High School down in Worcester in the state final. Long drive deep to right field. That ball is over the head of Benitez. Young into second base standing with a leadoff double. First hit of the night for the Thunder.
Boy, that was a nice hit right there by Emily Young. Now, this is the part of the order that really sort of sets the tone for Coach Mullins. And now you got Emily Young, and of course you got Paige Schulda, and then you got, of course, the power of Maddie Lamatanian that's going to be on deck here.
That was a really solid hit there by Young. Pretty close, a little bit to the left of where Kelsey Richardson hit her home run.
If you're Paulin, you got a 3-0 lead. You got to be smart, not worrying about the runner at second. More, you got to worry about getting outs here.
Schulda into the left-handed batter's box, swung through that first one, and the count is 0-1. Out ahead of that one. On deck is Maddie Lamatanian. Paige Schulda at the dish. The 0-1 pitch. That is low and away. Count even now at 1-1. All right, Schulda back in there now. Paulin back on the rubber. The pitch swung on a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 the count.
Now you got to be smart. You don't want any pass balls. Of course, you got Richardson behind the plate, one of the best catchers in all of Western Massachusetts here, but you don't want any pass balls.
Late swing and hammered over the head of some small children down there.
Yeah, they weren't looking. Their backs were turned.
That was coming in hot. That ball was foul, and the count remains 1-2. So Schulda got a good piece of that, but was just late on the swing.
Wouldn't surprise me on a changeup right here.
Here's the windup. The 1-2, it was a changeup, but it was high.
Yeah.
And the count now even at 2-2. Good at bat by Paige. Again, her contributions the last couple of years has been as a pinch runner or a courtesy runner. Now she is a regular player. 2-2 pitch, swung on a miss, strike 3. And there's 1 out here in the 4th. Strikeout number 7 for Paulin.
Well, the one thing that Emily Young was told in the notes here is don't try to steal her or try to go against Kelsey Richardson. She throws bombs right at her corners.
First pitch, foul back to the screen. It is 0-1. Well, you can run, but it's at your own peril.
Yeah,
because
let me tell you, her bombs and the way that she throws to first bag and third bag,
yeah,
she throws BBs.
One out, runner on second. That is Young, who led off with a double to right. And that next pitch is high, and the count now 1-1.
This is good to see that you know the power of Lamatanian. You got to be smart on your pitches here.
Next pitch is fouled back to the screen, and the count now goes to 1-2. Greenfield 3, Turner's Falls nothing. Top of the fourth here, 7-inning game at Betts Field.
Tell you right now, I'd go for that low outside instead of high.
That one went high, and the count now goes to 2-2.
It's nice when you can stay ahead. This is the difference between Lamatanian and Mackenzie. Pollen here is all about who's ahead.
Here's the windup. The 2-2 pitch, foul back. That's going to make it all the way over to Cleveland Street. Oh, there was a Jeep going down the street, but they had plenty of time to see it coming down.
Well, they didn't have I noticed the roof was closed, though. They were smart people.
Yes, they were. There is netting up behind this backstop here, but it extends pretty high, but once in a while they shoot it over it. The 2-2 pitch, grounded down to second base, Widello, over to Bergeron, down to third goes Young. So now there are 2 outs with a runner on third, and that will bring up Morgan DeBias.
Well, Morgan DeBias has been able to hit the ball pretty well this year for the Turner's Falls Thunder. They had some nice opportunities to use some of her hits to help them with some run production. This is a big spot right here for her.
Morgan grounded out to second base her first time up. First pitch to her, swung on a miss, strike one. If she can keep it going, Katie Wozniak will bat next. Greenfield 3, Turner's Falls nothing, top 4. Here's the pitch. That is high. Quick shot down at third. Young dives back in, easily safe. DeBias back in the right-handed batter's box. Looking at a 1-1 count with 2 outs here in the fourth. Here it is. That is low, back to the backstop. Here comes Young, sliding, she is safe. The throw was there, but Pollen could not glove it. They would have had Young, but Emily scores on the wild pitch. It's now 3-1 Greenfield. And now Morgan with the bases empty and a 2-1 count.
That was a perfect example of what I was saying earlier about hitting the pole. Bounced.
Yep. Did a good job of reading it, was Emily Young. She's a very smart athlete. We see it not only on the softball diamond, but on the basketball court.
Yeah.
That pitch is low, back to the screen. That looked like it caught Kelsey a little bit on her arm. She's okay, though.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something right now. A couple of wild pitches here by Pollen. Going to get herself back in a groove here.
She's been terrific. She's given up 1 hit, 7 strikeouts, but not as fine as she's been so far. That pitch is high as well. And down to first base with a 2-out walk is Morgan DeBias. That is the first walk surrendered tonight by Pollen.
I'll tell you right now, you look at the way that Katie Wozniak has been able to hit this year and how well she's done. I'll tell you right now, she's got some power.
Greenfield's had the better of it so far, but we have a ways to go here. This game is far from over. In there for a called strike. Nice pitch there by Pollen. It's 0-1.
I'll tell you right now, that was beautiful. You can get a couple more of those. Those are tough to hit.
Olivia Stafford is on deck for the Thunder. 2 outs, runner on first. The 0-1 pitch. A little bit low. Quick shot at first base, and that gets away. Morgan DeBias is going to try to get to second base, and she's going to get in there standing up on the error as they were unable to glove it down there, and now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Yeah, you don't want to start throwing the ball around in a tight game like this.
Wozniak up there with a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Hitting the air down the left field line. Then that drops foul by about 5 feet. That was nearly perfectly placed by Katie.
I'll tell you right now, if that ended up falling in the way it was spinning out, and it would have, went definitely out of bounds after it already landed fair, that would have scored that runner from second.
Yeah, Morgan would have scored for sure. Yeah, the way it was spinning, you're right.
That baby had some spin on it.
But again, it dropped about 5 feet foul. Here's the next pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. Strikeout number 8. But Turner's Falls is on the board. They score 1 run. on a wild pitch. We go to the last half of the fourth inning. Greenfield 3, Turners Falls 1 on the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard. And we're back here at Betts Field. Jeff Terrell, Bobby C., Dave Reno is our studio producer. Tomorrow morning, listen to Kevin on Bear in the Morning with local sports updates at 6:40 and 8:40. And then we'll get you set for the weekend, and then we'll be back with you again next week for at least one ball game, maybe two, who knows.
I was up bright and early this morning with Kev. I got to tell you, though, we are very fortunate to be able to do something that a lot of places don't get to do. High school sports is so fun, and for us to be able to have that connection with the community, with Bear Country, pretty special, Jeff.
Well, and it's great, too, to have baseball and softball going again, and, hopefully the local programs will be able to keep it going, because I just had a flight down to the southeast part of the country, Savannah, Georgia, and Charleston, South Carolina, and then on the way home. And both instances, when you fly over America, you see all the diamonds down there, softball and baseball diamonds.
Oh yeah,
and
huge.
It's great to have the ball games going again. Greenfield batting here in the last half of the fourth inning with a 3-1 lead, and leading off for the Green Wave, number 9 batter, Brielle Widello. She got the RBI, walked with the bases loaded in the second inning to score the first Greenfield run. She swings through that one. It's 1-1. It's Widello, then back to the top of the order, Caitlin Lavoine and Ainsley Flynn. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That is high, 2-1 the count.
You know, you think about this complex here at Vetts Field. It's gorgeous. Beautiful complex, brand new tennis courts have been all resurfaced. Back of the high school, that beautiful new track. It's gorgeous.
This pitch is fouled off on the right side, out of play over towards the Collins Moylan Arena. And the count now goes to 2-2. Greenfield scored 1 run in the second inning, 2 more in the third on that 2-run home run by Kelsey Richardson. Turners Falls with 1 in the top of the fourth inning. That pitch is grounded wide of third, foul, and the count 2-2. Again on deck is Caitlin Lavoine. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the windup. Here it is. A little bit high, and the count goes full, 3-2. 6 walks so far by Lamatanian. Not this time, though. Widello swings through that one, strike 3. And that's the second strikeout on the night by Lamatanian. 1 out here in the Greenfield fourth. Back to the top of the order, Caitlin Lavoine. She is 0 for 2. She grounded out to shortstop in the first inning, and then in the second inning, she grounded out and from second base to the plate as a run was eliminated there. First pitch swung on, a high fly ball to deep right field. Settling under it, putting it away is LePan. And 2 outs quickly here for the Green Wave in their half of the fourth.
You know, Jeff, to start off the third, ended up being a walk, and then that home run by Kelsey Richardson, and then the walk to Dodge, and that's when Mullins came out. Ever since then, 5 straight outs for Maddie Lamatanian since that visit.
Yep, she's doing a great job again. Ainsley Flynn. That first pitch is high for a ball. It is 1-0. Flynn was out from the catcher to first base in the first and grounded out 3-1 in the second. This next pitch is low, and the count 2-0. If she can reach, we're going to see Mackenzie Pollan and then Kelsey Richardson again. So, yeah, absolutely. Lamatanian would just as soon retire Flynn right here.
Absolutely.
It would be your first 1-2-3 inning of the night. That pitch is high. And the count now goes to 3-0. All right, Lamatanian back on the rubber, rocks and fires. That pitch is low, a 4-pitch walk to Ainsley Flynn. And here comes Mackenzie Pollan. She has walked twice. And she scored the second Greenfield run on that home run by Richardson. All right, we're going to bear down here, Bobby. You got the 2 best hitters in the Greenfield lineup batting right here, right now.
Absolutely.
First pitch to Paulin. Oh, that was a fastball. That popped the mitt of Young, but it was too high, ball one.
Yeah, I mean, you had your other top hitter ended up hitting it to right field, but it almost went out with Lavoine.
The windup, the 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. Outside corner, and the count now even at 1-1. Getting much darker here again between innings. I'll check the radar, see if we have anything heading our way. Here's the next pitch. That is high for a ball. 2-1. 2 outs, runner on first base. That is Flynn. Greenfield 3, Turner's Falls 1. The pitch. Nice off-speed pitch. Swung through by Paulin. The count now even 2-2.
That was one of those pitches where it started to sink because it was a nice changeup. That was a nice pitch right there by Lamatanian.
The 2-2 pitch, that is low, and the count now will be full, and the runner Flynn can take off as soon as can take off with the pitch.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you right now, you don't want to put 2 runners on with Richardson up.
The payoff pitch, runner goes, swung on a miss, strike 3. They throw it on the second base, doesn't matter. The side is retired. End of 4 here at Vets Field in Greenfield. On the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard, it's Greenfield 3, Turner's Falls 1 on Bear Country 95.3. Jeff Terrell, Bobby C. here at the ball game at Vets Field. And Dave Reno, our studio producer as always, across town on Woodard Road. Top of the 5th inning of the 7-inning game. Greenfield leading by a score of 3-1. And the first pitch is a ball to the leadoff batter. And that's Olivia Stafford. Olivia is 0 for 1. She lined out to first base her first time up. Swung through that one, and the count now goes to 1-1.
Yeah, but that liner that she ended up hitting was a shot that was caught by Bergeron. That was a heck of a play.
Here's the windup. And the 1-1 from Paulin, changeup, and it's taken for a ball, and the count goes to 2-1. Stafford, a right-handed batter, wears number 13. Paulin, the right-hander, rocks and fires. That pitch is high for a ball, 3-1, the count to Stafford. Again, this is still a tight game. It's the bottom of the Turner's order coming up here, 7, 8, 9 next, but holding a 2-run Greenfield lead here. Here's the 3-1 pitch, swung on a miss, strike 2, and the count is gone full.
Nice comeback right there by Paulin to be able to throw that nice pitch right down the chute. It's the first time she hasn't really been ahead. She's normally ahead of all of these other batters.
The 3-2 pitch, and that's a ball. That's the second walk of the night. Down to first base with a leadoff walk is Olivia Stafford in Turner's Falls. Yeah, they got something going here, Bob.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to stay ahead of batters. You got opportunities where you can be able to get ahead. You're going to be in a much better spot. But right now, Paulin's got a deal here against LePan, who hit to the shortstop last time.
She still has 9 outs to get. LePan takes a called strike, 0-1. LePan, again, as Bob mentioned, bounced out to the shortstop, leading off the third. Freeland on deck, and then Jenna Petrovich in the hole. The windup, the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball down to second base. Widello over to second, 1 on to first late. So a fielder's choice. Reaching first base is LePan, and Stafford is out at second. And with 1 out, here is Shayla Freeland, the left fielder. She struck out in the 3rd inning, the 5th strikeout at the time. 8 Ks overall for Mackenzie Paulin. First pitch, late swing, fouled off on the right side out of play. And the count is 0-1. Greenfield 3, Turner's Falls 1 in the 5th. Greenfield needs 9 outs to get the W here against the defending state champions. Called strike 2, and it's quickly 0-2.
Well, you got the lead here. Now you're ahead again in that count. Got to be smart. You don't want to throw anything away, though.
The 0-2 pitch, a little bit low, 1-2. Shay Freeland, right-handed batter. In the hole, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. That is the 9th strikeout on the night for Mackenzie Pollan, and she's gotten Freeland twice. Bottom of the order, Jenna Petrovic. She was strikeout victim number 6 back in the 3rd. Runner on first with 2 outs. That's LePan who reached on the fielder's choice. This pitch is fouled back to the screen, out of play. Quickly 0-1.
You know, for a rival game, this is a pretty quiet crowd here.
It has been.
Then again, maybe their faces are frozen. Who knows? 'Cause I know that I might be. You might be doing this yourself soon here, Jeff.
That pitch is high. That's a one. It's a 1-1. Don't leave me, Bobby. Don't leave me. You can hang in there, buddy. You can do it. Here's the windup, and the 1-1 pitch. Ground ball, base hit up to center field. LePan will go right to second base and hang on there. Second hit of the night for the Thunder, and it's the number 9 batter, Petrovic, who gets it. And the other girl who has had a hit tonight for Turner's Falls is up right now. That is Emily Young, who had a double and scored in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and that double was a shot to right field, and it turned out to be an excellent hit. Boy, I'll tell you right now, if they can do the same thing as they did before, that'll be big.
And Turner's Falls is going to go to a courtesy runner. Marilyn Abarua is going to be the courtesy runner for LePan out at second base.
One thing I've always said about Coach Mullins is he does a really good job at being able to get pinch runners in there. He's been doing that for years.
Yes, he's been, he utilizes his bench very well.
Definitely.
All right, so 2 on, 2 out here, and Emily Young at the dish. The pitch is high for a ball. The tying run is on first base, the potential go-ahead run at the plate with 2 outs here in the 5th. Pollan looks in at Richardson. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Tell you right now, this is going to be a good matchup right here between Young and Pollan. In a big spot right here for Emily Young.
The 1-1 pitch. A little bit outside, and the count goes to 2-1. Pollan won the first matchup, strikeout in the first, and Young the second one with that double. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 2, and the count now 2-2 with 2 outs.
That was a nice pitch. I'll tell you right now, if you can do that right at the knees and outside corner, that's a tough one to get.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs with 2 on the pitch. That is high for a ball, and it's gone full. 3-2. The runners will be off, which could help with a gapper. Could tie the game. A gapper could easily tie the game with the runners in motion here, Bobby.
Definitely.
3-2 with 2 outs. The pitch, that is low. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Great at bat by Emily Young. And here comes Paige Schulda. She has struck out twice. She struck out in the first and in the 4th, but coming up with the bases loaded here in the 5th with her team down by 2. It's 3-1 Greenfield here in the 5th. Schulda in on the left side. The pitch swung on back to the screen. Foul ball. It's 0-1. Can Pollan get out of it? Or can Turners draw closer or tie it or take the lead here? We're going to get our answer here in just a second. The 0-1 pitch. Called strike 2, and quickly Schulda in an 0-2 hole.
Tell you right now, this is a spot where the pitcher ends up taking that advantage here with being ahead of the count. But you got to be ready to protect here for anything if you're Schulda.
The 0-2 pitch, swung on a miss, strike 3, and she gets out of the jam. 10th strikeout on the night by Mackenzie Pollan. We go to the last of the 5th inning. Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard. It's Greenfield 3, Turner's Falls 1 on Bear Country 95.3. And we're back here at Betts Field. Greenfield batting with a 3-1 lead as they bat in the last of the 5th inning. They are 6 outs away from getting the win. And we've got the 4, 5, and 6 batters for the Wave here in the 5th inning. Kelsey Richardson, who is, she's the reason why Greenfield has the 2-run lead. That 2-run home run back in the 3rd, and then Rachel Dodge and Anna Bacala.
Yeah. tell you right now, though, they've been putting the bat on the ball, all three of those. So, who knows what will happen here. I was just saying to the fans behind us, Jeff, I don't ever get cold on the legs part, but boy, I have my hands, I'm telling you, I don't know if it's our age or whatever, but boy, I get cold a lot easier in the hands now. What's going on with that situation?
Well, I got to check again.
You've been checking the radar, but it's not like it looks like it's going to be fine weather-wise. I see breaks, but I'm going to guess right now that it's 49 degrees here, Jeff.
No, 52.
Still, it's dipping a few, though.
52, that's right here at Vets Field.
And you were 52. At 50, and we were at 55, right? Just recently?
Yeah, the first pitch temperature was 61.
61,
so
down to 55, down.
Yeah. We've lost 8 degrees since we started this game. So it's football weather, Bobby.
Yeah, it is. But if I was playing football, I wouldn't be worrying about my hands being.
It feels like we should be watching the Green Wave and the Thunder on Thanksgiving morning over here at Vets Field.
Let me tell you, that's a heartbreaker in itself right there.
Maybe one day.
Nah, I hope it comes back. All right.
Maybe one day. All right, Kelsey Richardson. Greenfield leading 3-1, bottom of the fifth of this 7-inning game. First pitch in there for a called strike. Now, after the Richardson 2-run home run, she walked Rachel Dodge. Gary Mullins went to the mound, and since then, Greenfield, they've had a base runner via a walk, but they have pretty much been shut down ever since then.
Yeah, out of 7 batters, it was just that one walk.
That pitch is basically bowled to the plate, and Maddie's just shaking her head saying, what was that? And she kind of looks down at her right hand. She basically kind of bowled that one in. But in softball, even the best pitchers will do that occasionally.
Oh, absolutely.
Happened to Jay Tyler once in a while. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back to the screen.
It's funny you say that, Jeff, but I watched Jenny Fink when she was pitching for Arizona in college. I remember her throwing one of those little grounders down where it hit her because they hit their thigh when they come through, and a little bit too much.
And Jenny Finch was
amazing,
unbelievable pitcher. 2 pitch. That is high. Count now even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff batter here on the Greenfield fifth. Green Wave leading 3-1. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That is high. Ball 3. 3-2 the count.
You don't want to lose her. You did such a good job being able to stay ahead. Now you got to stay ahead here if you're Lamatanian.
Richardson popped to the pitcher and then again hit that 2-run home run. Here's the pitch. Check swing goes high, and she went through. Strike 3.
Boy, she had an opportunity to get that ball 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bobby, that's the 4th strikeout of the night by Maddie, and they've all happened. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of the last 6 batters have been strikeouts.
Yeah. Literally in the last inning and a third.
Yep.
She's able to get those strikeouts. Nice job.
Yeah, she's kept her team within striking distance so far. Called strike to Rachel Dodge, the left fielder. She has walked twice. She scored the first Greenfield run on a bases loaded walk to Widello. That happened back in the 2nd inning. She takes the called strike.
Nice changeup.
Quickly 0-2.
Jeff, the baseball game that's going on over there between Greenfield and whoever, I can't even tell who they're playing. They're already in the 6th inning.
Ground ball back to the mound. Yeah, a little underhand shovel over to first base. And Dodge is out 1-3. And with 2 outs and nobody on, here is Anna Bucala. She is 1 for 2. She singled in the 2nd inning and then grounded into a fielder's choice grounder 4-6. In the 3rd. Up here in the 5th, 2 outs, nobody on. Lamatanian cruising at this point after really struggling there for a time. Here's the first pitch. That's a ground ball wide of first, just foul.
Jeff, if you look back at this game, if there's a chance for Turners to come back in this game and pull this game off, think about that mound visit by Gary Mullins on how big that was in this game if that ends up happening.
Yeah, he'd been out there for a while. He definitely, I'd like to know what he said.
Yeah, really.
We can guess what he said. There's a hot smash in the right field. That's a base hit. Nicely done there by Anna Bucala. So she reaches, and she's 2 for 3 tonight, Bobby.
She is. She's had a good night.
So Greenfield has a 2-out base runner, and here comes Ellis Benitez. And she is grounded back to the mound twice. Zipping in on the right side. Here's the windup, and the pitch to her, hit in the air into right center field. That ball is one-hopping the wall. Making the turn at third, Bacala is going to come home easily. RBI double by Benitez, 4-1 Greenfield.
What a hit right there by Benitez. That was solid. And scores Bacala all the way from first base. Impressive.
Greenfield now has their 3-run lead back. It's 4-1, 2 outs, runner on second base. And here is Amber Bergeron in on the left side. First pitch, swung on, foul back to the screen, 0-1. Emily Young goes and chases that one down. Yeah, looks like whoever Greenfield's playing, looks like the Wave is trailing 1-0. And in the sixth inning.
Yeah,
so.
that game's moving over there. Pitcher's duel, definitely, whoever they're playing.
Yeah, that's also a 7-inning game over there. In there for a called strike to Bergeron. Amber down quickly, 0-2. Amber is 0 for 1 tonight. She walked in the second and struck out to end the third inning. Batting here in the fifth in a 4-1 Greenfield game. Benitez on second with 2 outs. That is low and away. And the count now goes to 1-2.
That had some spark to it. That was on fire. Wow. That thing was coming right off her hands. Some authority.
Here's the 1-2. That is low in the dirt. Benitez reads it.
Boy, she's quick.
And she made it down to third in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. You know what that is? That's wish I could try that once in my lifetime.
Yeah, she can pick them up and put them down for sure. And that's putting a lot of pressure here on Lamatanian and Emily Young. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Bergeron down on strikes. And the side is retired, but Greenfield gets another run. We go to the 6th on the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard. It's now Greenfield 4, Turners Falls 1 on Bear Country 95.3. Mackenzie Pollan now, she's 6 outs away from completing the victory over not only their arch rivals from Turners Falls, but the defending state champions.
Exactly, and the other thing too that people need to realize is that this Greenfield team, they both sort of get a lot of these girls from the same program, and that is the Greenfield Girls Softball League. A lot of those girls come through that program, and then they have the opportunity to be able to play for their respective schools. And right now, we're seeing some great talent that all started many years ago over there at Murphy Park on Leiden Road in Greenfield, all sitting right here on Bar Ave in Greenfield tonight.
All right, Turners Falls comes to bat here. Top half of the 6th inning. They're down to their last 6 outs. First pitch, hammered foul by Lamatanian down the left field line, out of play. It's 0-1. Maddie is 0 for 2. She struck out in the first, grounded out to second base in the 4th. Up here in the 6th with their team trailing 4-1. It'll be Lamatanian, DeBias, and Wozniak. The pitch hit in the air, left side, and that's going to go out of play into the crowd, and the count is 0-2. Interesting, you mentioned Murphy Park. In fact, we were here, Bobby, for a game, and it may have been against Turners Falls, I think, when we had heard the word that
it was the night that we had the rainstorm here.
That Murphy had sadly passed away.
Yeah, Mike Murphy passed last year during a Greenfield Turners game. Yep.
That pitch is high for a ball, 1-2 the count. Morgan DeBias is on deck. But yeah, you go up there to Murphy Park on a weeknight or on a weekend, a lot of young ladies playing the great game of softball. This is trouble. Left field's going to fall in for a hit. Lamatanian down to second base, in there safely. A wind-blown pop-up into shallow left, and it drops for a double. And Turners Falls is in business here in the 6th.
They sure are. And let me tell you right now, the breeze really just starting to pick up here in this inning. I mean, the breeze has been here a little bit, but it's really picked up right now.
And it looked like that ball was really getting blown around out there.
Yeah, and you can even see the net right here that we got is just blowing in.
Yep. And you can hear it on our crowd mics here as well.
Yeah, and I can hear it through the crowd mics, which is the first time that we've been able to hear that. So right now the wind's picked up, and good opportunity right there for Turners to be able to get that lead runner. And there you go, Maddie Lamatanian sitting at second base, her team down 3.
Morgan DeBias at the plate. It is Greenfield 4, Turners Falls 1. Greenfield 1 in the second, 2 in the third on the Richardson home run, a single run in the 5th. That pitch low for a ball. It's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swung on a miss. Oh, the 1-0 pitch, I should say, swung on a miss. Strike one, 1-1 the count. Turner's Falls was able to load the bases one inning, but Mackenzie Pollen was able to get a strikeout to get out of that jam. Pitches high for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the windup. The 2-1 pitch. That's a line drive, base hit in the center field. Making the turn, Lamatane. They're going to hold her at third. The throw comes in. Runner will hold at first. It is first and third with nobody out, and the tying run comes to the plate.
That was a beautiful throw to the plate by Lavoine to be able to keep Lamatania from scoring. Nice hit, though, by Morgan Tobias to be able to get her over there. Now, you got literally the tying run at the plate. Tying run at the plate right here.
Yep, and I heard the Turner's Falls bench saying, Maddie, pass ball, be careful. Be sure of it. First pitch, late swing on a fastball, and it's 0-1. Wozniak is 0 for 2. She has struck out twice. Olivia Stafford is on deck. Katie in there on the left side. Nobody out. Runners on first and third here in the 6th of a 7-inning game. Swung on a miss, strike 2. 2 good pitches there by Pollen to come back. And frankly, she needs the K here, Bobby.
She does, definitely, because right now you got nobody out, 2 runners on, and an opportunity to be able to tie this game up.
The 0-2 pitch, check swing, it's a ball. Down the second base, goes Tobias, throw gets away, here comes the throw home, she's safe.
I don't know why I would have thrown that ball down there. I don't know why that would have. That didn't really help. It ended up hurting your team right there.
And Turner's Falls has scored. It's now 4-2.
Now a base hit will give you a scoring. Now you got Tobias in scoring position.
Tobias down at second base. Yeah, you're probably best just to eat that ball there.
Yeah, definitely.
That ball's in the dirt, and the count now goes to 2-2. On deck again is Stafford. Greenfield 4, Turner's Falls 2 here in the 6th. Here's the windup. Here it is. And it's hit on the line down the shortstop. Bobbled momentarily. Quick throw in the dirt. Bergeron, did she pull her leg off?
Yes, she pulled her leg off.
So the runner is safe. And down to third base goes Tobias. So runners on first and third.
I think I think that she was safe.
Yep.
Yeah.
She did pull her leg off there.
She pulled her leg off. Yep. That was a good call.
Yep. Bergeron went to field the throw. Her leg did come off the bag.
Yep.
And now it's John Hickey's turn to go to the mound and try to calm his girls down here. Olivia Stafford will come to the plate. Lamatanian doubled, scored. Morgan Tobias singled. And now she stands at third base. Wozniak at first on that fielder's choice, and Stafford at the dish. She is 0 for 1. She lined out to first baseman Bergeron in the 2nd, and then she walked to lead off the 5th and was stranded there.
Honestly, because of Wozniak being able to make it down the line and it was that close of a play, I gave her a base hit, Jeff.
Yep. I will note that in my book as well. Yep.
All right.
3 hits on the night for the Thunder. Here's the first pitch to Stafford. That is high for a ball. The tying run is now going to go to second base as moving up there is Wozniak. So Katie is now the tying run on second base with nobody out here on the 6th. A late charge here by the Thunder. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 the count.
It's almost the situation of what happened last week against Hampshire Regional, where Greenfield was leading, and all of a sudden Hampshire came back in the 6th and 7th innings to be able to pull out the victory.
Next pitch in there for a strike. 1-2 the count. Nice pitch there by Pollen. She's looking to get one more here. She just wants to get this first out of the inning and settle back in. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. Strikeout number 11 Stafford has struck out for the first time tonight. 1 out here, runners on second and third, and here comes LePan.
She's made contact every time so far here tonight. LePan has all made contact.
Yeah, we're going to get a pinch runner again for Turner's Falls.
Yeah, it's a good spot because you got Wozniak that can go back in as a re-entry because she was a starter. And now you got a chance for a little more speed on second base. And LePan, like I said, has made contact every time here tonight against Pollen.
It's Ariel Peters, who is the pinch runner, now down at second base. Here's the windup and the first pitch to LePan. That is a little bit low for a ball, 1-0. Greenfield 4, Turner's 2. Top of the 6th inning of this 7-inning game. Runners on second and third with only 1 out. Pollen delivers. That pitch is low, 2-0 the count.
Yeah, well, the base
Didn't miss
is
by
open.
much.
Base is open, though.
Yep. And then you've got the 8-9 batters to follow, and then to the top of the order in Young. Here's the pitch. Ground ball down to second base. They're going to go to get the runner there at first. Runner scores. DeBias from third. It is now 4-3 Greenfield.
Nice job right there by Sky LePan to be able to keep that ball in play and able to get the RBI.
Play goes out 4-3. And Shayla Freeland steps in on the right side. 2 outs now. The tying run is on third. Huge at bat here. Actually, we have a pinch batter. The pinch batter for Turners. We'll get that here in just a second. First pitch, swung on a miss, strike 1. 0-1 the count. So they pulled Freeland back. Petrovich, who does have a single, is on deck.
Maya Marigiano.
Right-handed batter. Second pitch is high for a ball. Count goes to 1-1. Kelsey Richardson fakes the throw down to third. You got to be real careful you don't throw it away and score the tying run here.
Yeah, no, you definitely just want to shoot for the batter right here.
Just focus on the girl at the dish. This pitch is low. Nice stop there by Richardson.
Wow, that was a great stop because that had some heat on it there. Nice job right there by Richardson to stop that. That would have definitely scored the tying run.
4-3 Greenfield in the 6th of a 7-inning game. Here's the pitch. That is low for a ball. 3-1 the count. Petrovich on deck, and then back to the top of the order, and Emily Young. They're in the 7th over at the baseball diamond. Greenfield trailing 1-0. Here's the pitch. In the air, line drive, right field in the stands, out of play. And the count now has gone full, 3-2.
That was a nice piece right there by Maya.
Right-handed batter, wears number 14.
She must be new to the program from what we've seen over the years because I don't remember Maya being a part of
the program
the team
last
over
year,
the
yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Reggiano in on the right side. The 3-2 pitch. That is ball 4. She kind of looked back. She waited, and she is able to work a walk. Runners now on first and third. That's the go-ahead run now down at first base with 2 outs here. And now Mully's out. He's going to make another change. I tell you, he is utilizing his bench. This is where he is just a master, Bobby.
He is. You know,
It's going to be a pinch runner.
and of course, but you know what happened last time? Petrovich ended up with a single last time. And if she could pull off a single right now, they'll be able to tie this game.
And an extra base hit might give Turner's Falls the lead. The Thunder were being held in check most of the night by Mackenzie Pollen, but they have gotten to her now. First and third with 2 outs. First pitch is a ball high, 1-0. We're anticipating the runner's going to go here.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Greenfield 4, Turner's 3 here in the 6th. The windup, the 1-0 pitch, that is high, ball 2. 2-0 the count. Emily Young is on deck, but the main thing is Petrovich at the dish right now. 2 outs with 2 ons. Her team down by 1 run. The windup, the pitch, in there for a strike. It's 2-1.
That's a big pitch right there. That's a big pitch. Now you got to come back and you got to do that again. You want to stay ahead of her. 9th batter, Young coming up.
The 2-1 pitch, swung on a miss, strike 2. The count now even. Waiting for that runner to go down to second base.
Yeah,
first.
but no wild pitches either, Jeff. You don't want any wild pitches either.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Here in the 6th, the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. But Turner's Falls scores 2. It's a 1-run game. Last of the 6th inning coming up. Greenfield 3, Greenfield 4, Turner's 3 on the Greenfield Savings Bank scoreboard. Bear Country 95.3. Mackenzie Pollen able to get the strikeout against Petrovich. It was strikeout number 12 on the night. But the Thunder, they're never out of it, Bobby. They were really getting handcuffed by Mackenzie Pollen, but hey, we're going to the last of the 6th inning, 7-inning ball game. It's late, but it's a 1-run game.
Yeah, we were always talking about how the rivalry has always been on between Turners and Greenfield. And now that I think about it, didn't Jay Tyler hit a big 2-run blast in the game last year that we had to pick up that win?
She did, yeah. Kelsey Richardson
and then Kelsey Richardson hit
a home run.
Yeah.
I have the notes here somewhere.
Oh, do you? That's great. Yeah, because I'm trying to live back to last year. I know it was a rainy, wet, damp, cold night.
Yeah, I'll find that game.
Yeah, that was something. Jay Tyler ended up hitting a big hit in that game.
Oh, you can tell I got rained on here. You can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, the notes are just about gone, but yeah. Juliano Road hit a home run that night.
Yeah.
Widello just fouled one at the plate. It's 0-1. Yeah, that game was full of home runs. Home runs by Tyler. Road hit a home run, and Richardson.
And Richardson had one, right?
Deep for Greenfield.
Yeah.
Next pitch, that is high, and the count goes to 1-1. Mackenzie Pollen had a 2-run double in that game. She was playing second base that night.
Yeah, that's what she played last year.
That pitch is high. Now the count goes to 2-1.
Because you had Gianna Conti dealing last year.
Yep.
For the Wave. Yep.
Wind up and the pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Widello, number 9 batter. She is 0 for 1. She walked with the bases loaded for an RBI in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. Batting here in the 6th. Here it is. That is high, and the count goes to 3-2 after Widello. Back to the top of the order for Caitlin Lavoine and Ainsley Flynn. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Down to first base goes Widello. Greenfield with the leadoff batter on here in the 6th.
Widello's done a nice job being able to keep her eye on the ball here tonight. She's been able to get on twice with 2 walks in that 9th position.
And I can tell you, Bobby, the crowd has really filled out here since early on. I think people have heard that we had a close game here, and they're swinging right now.
Oh, see what about that small game I was telling you about?
Yep, she turned a bunt, fouled it at the plate.
I told you.
Caitlin Lavoine is 0 for 3 tonight. She grounded out to short in the 1st, and grounded out to second base in the 2nd on the play at the plate, and then flied out to right field in the 4th. Squares to bunt, pulls it back. No, she went down to second base, and in there is Widello. The throw actually hit her. Now she's kind of doubled over in pain, but she's okay. Looked like it cut her right near the knee.
It did. It got her right on the kneecap there. Plus, she was sliding at the same time too. And it's cold. There's like a lot of factors. I'll tell you right now, though, that's a good spot for her to be in, though, right now, Jeff. Sitting there at second base, no outs here in the 6th inning with only a 1-run lead.
The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball down to short. They're going to go to first. Safe there. Man, she can fly.
That was huge by Lavoine.
Lavoine is able to get an infield single there, and the runner ends up on third base. So Greenfield first and third with nobody out in this one-run game, and here comes Ainsley Flynn.
Wow, they got the top of the order right now. Got a runner on third, runner on first, and you know LeBoyne's going.
Yep.
And they're not going to try to shoot her out.
No.
She's fast.
Yeah, Greenfield's sitting pretty here with this one-run lead.
Sure are. And I
First
wouldn't take a chance on wasting a ball down second base. Not in a one-run game.
Yeah, we know LeBoyne's going to go. She really quick foot speed. Now a timeout called at the plate by Flynn. Ainsley now will step out, take a practice cut or two, and get back in there. And Turner's Falls hang close here. They trail by one, 4-3. Bottom of the sixth inning. Again, we play 7-inning games here in high school. That pitch is away, predictably.
Yep, there you go.
Down to second base goes Caitlin Levoyne. Second and third with nobody out. So a lot of pressure on the Thunder. Right now, they'll bring the infield in. They want to cut that run off at the plate if they can. It's not a force play, however. Here's the pitch. Inside. 2-0 the count.
If I'm Coach Hickey, I'm telling my runner at third right now that you do not have to go on contact. See where the ball goes. If it goes off to the right side of the field, then run.
Do not want to run into an out here. Here's the pitch, fouled back right at us. And the count goes to 2-1.
No, there's no reason to be able to waste an out.
And the wind kicking up yet again. Chilly night here in Bear Country. 2-1 the count. Second and third, nobody out. Bottom six. 4-3 Greenfield. That pitch is low. 3-1. On deck, Mackenzie Pollen, and then Kelsey Richardson, who's had the big hit tonight, a 2-run home run to right.
It's not going to be a bad thing if that runner goes to first. It's not going to be a bad thing.
Pitch is high, ball four to load the bases.
Now you got to force at any base now or the plate. So now you got to be able to look to try to be able to keep that infield in and shoot to the plate.
In there for a strike to Mackenzie Pollen. Widello is on third. She led off this inning. And you got Flynn down at first base. Here's the pitch. Inside. 1-1 the count.
And remember, nowhere to put her. Nowhere to put her in a one-run game here.
Infield has crept in even more, especially at first and at second. They are really in trying to cut off that play at the plate. Fouled at the plate. Swung on a missed. And the count goes to 1-2. The K here, that would be perfect for Maddie Lamatanian. Greenfield 4, Turner's 3 here in the sixth. Here's the pitch. Foul back over our heads, out of play.
Well, there's an old saying, when you're a pitcher and you have an opportunity to help your cause, this is a chance for Pollen right here. Base hit will score two, especially with LeBoyne at second base and her speed.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Huge strikeout for Maddie Lamatanian, her 5th on the night. And Kelsey Richardson.
Not the person you want up with bases loaded here, Jeff. Big moment here for Kelsey Richardson.
Now Turner's Falls put the infield back a little bit. The middle infielders now are back a little bit. A hard hit smash to short at first, and they could turn 2 to get out of the inning. 4-3 Greenfield, bases loaded with 1 out. First pitch to Richardson, late swing on a fastball. It's 0-1.
Thing had some movement on it there. I think had a little bit of movement.
Can Lamatanian keep it a 1-run game heading to Turner's Falls' last ducks? Here's the pitch. Inside, 1-1. Widello is on third. Levoyne on second. Flynn on first. 1 out. Bottom 6, Greenfield 4, Turner's Falls 3. The windup. And the pitch. Hit in the air. Deep right field. That ball is gone for a grand slam. Kelsey Richardson goes deep yet again. 8-3 Green Wave.
Wow, that was huge. You want to talk about two hits done the same way? Both hit in the same area. One for a two-run homer, and now a grand slam. What a night for Kelsey Richardson.
Eight 8-3 Greenfield, so they take it from a 4-3 lead to an 8-3 advantage. Kelsey Richardson, my goodness. Neither one of those home runs was even in the vicinity of cheap. Those were two rockets to right.
They sure were, and I'm going to tell you right now, when you see the right fielder just standing there and looking at it, you know it's gone. And that's exactly what happened right there. Big grand slam. Now the Green Wave is sitting pretty in this one.
5-run lead that they'll take into the 7th inning. At least 5 runs. Still have only one out here in the 6th inning. And they're calling timeout to get that home run ball back into play here. Yeah, I'm not sure where it was retrieved, but it ended up probably down around the 30-yard line of the football field, something like that. That thing it probably rolled and rolled and rolled.
Yeah, plus with all this wind, yeah, that thing was rolling. What a hit.
0-1 the count. To Dodge. Hit in the air to right field. This one will stand the yard. Caught out there. Nicely done by LePan. 2 outs now. And that will bring up Anabakala. So Dodge is 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a run scored.
I'll tell you right now, Bacala's had a good night too. We can't overshadow her. She's had 2 base hits here. Been able to score a run. Yeah, she's had a good night herself.
Steps on the right side. Ground ball down to second base. Up with it, Stafford over to Tobias. And that will retire the side, but the grand slam by Kelsey Richardson has opened it up for the Green Wave. It is now Greenfield 8, Turner's Falls 3. Well, Turner's Falls was able to get to Mackenzie Collin for 2 runs in the 6th inning, but they're going to have to do a lot more work here in the 7th, as it's Emily Young, top of the order. Young, Schulda, Lamatanian to lead it off against Mackenzie Collin. But hey, if you're Mackenzie Collin, you're looking up with a 5-run lead. Just play catch with your catcher, basically. Just deal.
And if you're the catcher, you're going to make sure she's playing catch with it because you're the one who just scored the big home run with the grand slam. You don't want to lose it now. You worked way too hard to be able to get this situation to be in your hands. But look who's up, top of the order, and Emily Young. And you know that she's been able to do damage already. She had a beautiful double. She also had the opportunity to get that walk that she got to sort of lead things off. Well, let's see what happens here. Emily Young, a needed hit here in the top of the 7th.
First pitch to Young is low for a ball, 1-0. Well, there's a saying, there's no such thing as a 5 or a 6 or a 7-run home run.
No.
Just get base runners, get traffic going on the infield, get the infielders moving around a little bit, take it at-bat by at-bat. In there for a strike count now, 1-1.
I watched the Red Sox game one night, Jeff. It was a playoff game about maybe 5-6 years ago. Red Sox were down by 3, and all they did was just chip away with base hits, and they ended up winning the game. That's all you got to do. Even the pros know that.
In there for a strike, and Young is now down 1-2. And if you're Greenfield, get that first out.
Exactly.
That'll be huge. That pitch is up and away. Count now goes to 2-2 again. It'll be Young, Schulda, and Maddie Lamatanian.
Time for that changeup right here.
The windup, the 2-2. That is high. 3-2.
Don't want to lose her. Got a 5-run lead here.
Do not count the Turner's Falls Thunder out, folks.
Oh, and there you go.
That is low. Ball 4, a leadoff walk to Young. Here in the 7th and final inning. So Greenfield still needs 3 more outs to seal the deal against the defending state champs. Here comes Paige Schulda.
The one thing you don't want to get caught up in doing, Jeff, you don't want to get caught up about throwing the ball around. Don't worry about it. You just need 3 outs. You got a 5-run lead. Runner at first base, I hate to say it, it doesn't really mean much right now. Every out is what matters.
high for a ball, 1-0. Turner's Falls is saying thank you. Let's just ride this out here. Next pitch up and in, it's 2-0. I think if Schulda reaches here, you might want to think of a mound visit. Just say, look, you just want to play catch with Kelsey here. Swung on that strike one. Nice pitch there by Pollen. 2-1. Runner on first. Nobody out here in the seventh. Greenfield 3 outs away. Here's the pitch. Line drive in the center field. That's going to drop for a hit. They have a shot at Young at second, but Emily with good foot speed gets in there safely. So the first two have reached here in the seventh inning. And here comes Maddie Lamatanian. We're not done yet, Bob.
Oh, absolutely not. And I'll tell you right now, just like you were saying, it's about trying to just be able to chip away at it. Everybody starts getting on the hit parade. And that's exactly what Turner's is going to have to do if they want to win this, is to literally have a hit parade.
That home run by Richardson is looking bigger and bigger as this inning goes along here. First pitch in there for a ball, 1-0. Collins struggling to get it over the plate here. Here's the next pitch. Fouled at the plate, down towards third base, and the count now goes to 1-1. Young is on second. Paige Schulda on first. Lamatanian at the dish.
She's got a lot of power.
The 1-1 pitch, that is low in the dirt. Scoop there by Richardson. Runners will hold. 2-1 the count. On deck, Morgan Tobias. This is the part of the order that got the damage done when Turner's Falls scored 2. Edge a little bit closer. Here's the pitch. That is low. 3-1 the count.
I'll tell you right now, there is an opportunity to be able to load the bases, but think about who you got coming up next. Morgan Tobias, quite a nice hit.
The 3-1 pitch. That is high, ball 4. The bases are loaded. So Greenfield gets the grand slam by Richardson to go up by 5. And I hate to say this if you're a Greenfield fan, but the tying run is coming out into the on-deck circle.
Yeah.
If you can believe that. The tying run is in the on-deck circle with nobody out. We are far from done here.
And I want you folks to know that Morgan Tobias and also Katie Wozniak can hit the ball. They make good contact. They are strong. And 5 runs with no outs is a possibility of Turner's Falls being able to achieve. Mackenzie Collins is going to settle down here. 1 out at a time here if you want to be able to pull off this victory at home.
Here's the first pitch. Fouled back right at us. And the count is 0-1.
Wind really picked up here. And by the way, the wind is blowing out.
It is.
It is to an advantage of a hitter right now.
And now here comes John Hickey. He's called the timeout. He's going to gather his infielders and his battery.
It's a good time.
Yeah, talk about the situation.
It's a good time. It's a good time. Because right now, you need to settle down. You need to get outs. It's really about outs right now.
Yep, they are 3 outs away. Again, this was a 4-3 Greenfield lead in the 6th. Going to the last out of the 6th inning, and then Richardson with that grand slam. Opening up a huge lead for the Wave. But they're in danger of squandering it, or at least part of it. 0-1 the count to Tobias. There's a hot smash, and that's a foul ball just over